Good evening. A brief moment of diplomatic theater today between President Obama and Venezuela's Hugo Chavez, a harsh critic of the U.S., has left some wondering tonight whether strained relations between the two countries might be about to change. Obama and Chavez are attending the Summit of the Americas in Trinidad. While there have been no formal meetings between the two, there have been a couple of interesting encounters, along with some smiles and handshakes. The kinds of things that in diplomatic circles can mean a lot or nothing at all, which is what the White House is insisting tonight. Our chief White House correspondent, Chuck Todd, is in Port of Spain and joins us now with more. Chuck, good evening.
Good evening, Lester. Well, this day two of the Summit of the Americas is turning into the summit of distractions for the United States. Yesterday, it was a bunch of countries lecturing the United States on Cuba. Today, the distraction was Hugo Chavez. In a meeting with the leaders of 12 South American countries, President Obama sounded conciliatory.
I have a lot to learn, and I'm very much looking forward to listening.
But the meeting turned into yet another Hugo Chavez photo op. A day after Mr. Obama's most famous handshake since taking office, Venezuela's leader launched what appeared to be a publicity stunt, a presidential gift, a book written nearly 40 years ago about how European and American policies have hurt Latin America. The Obama-Chavez encounter was witnessed by a smiling Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, who once famously clashed with her now boss over how to handle leaders like Chavez.
I don't want to be used for propaganda purposes. I don't want to make a situation even worse.
Mindful of the attention Chavez is receiving, White House aides quickly tried to shift the focus of this summit away from him and back to their priorities of the economy, energy, and poverty.
A smile and a handshake does not mean a new relationship.
Relationships depend on more than smiles and handshakes.
Smiles and handshakes and the desire of one leader to say to the president that he wants to be his friend, again, is a wonderful opportunity to match actions with words.
But it's not just Chavez overshadowing this summit, it's also Cuba. And while the president is fond of attempting to, quote, turn the page, this is a region that doesn't easily do that.
Latin Americans care a lot about history, and we're coming off of a period of absolutely abysmal ties between the United States and Latin America.
One of the president's closest confidants at this summit is Canadian Prime Minister Stephen Harper. In an interview, he voiced frustration over the coverage of Chavez in Cuba.
For many of these countries, we can't forget, the challenges are much more serious and much deeper than the kind of economic problems we face in Canada and the United States.
Now, Lester, I'm told one sign that you will see a thawing between the United States and Venezuela is if Venezuela sends their ambassador back to Washington, D.C. That's when you'll know there actually is some actions matching the words. By the way, that book that Hugo Chavez recommended to Barack Obama, it was ranked over 54,000 on Amazon this morning. It is now up to 14th. Move over, Oprah. Here's Hugo Chavez.
All right, Chuck Todd tonight. Chuck, thank you.